everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing really well. So today's video I'm going to be talking you through my entire base makeup routine. I obviously love a really glowy base, and I always get a lot of questions about what products I recommend. So yeah, I've got them all laid out here. I do also have a couple of options for each product, so I've got different options that would maybe work for other people. So I'm just going to zoom you in. Yeah, I'm going to film it pretty close up today just because I want you to see the actual texture of skin, because believe it or not, skin actually has texture. Before we start, my skin type is kind of normal to dry. It gets a little bit more dry in winter. I think that's pretty standard. Skin goes through stages with breakouts, you know, pretty standard also, normally hormonal. So yeah, I do have, they're kind of clearing up at the moment, but I do have a few little scars around here. Obviously I have the scar by my lip. So yeah, skin is not perfect. Nobody's skin is perfect, so don't start any of that. Always the most important thing is your skincare. If your skincare is not good, your makeup will just never ever sit well. Because I've tried to cut corners, you know, I'm the laziest person in the world, and every time I don't do it properly, my makeup just looks shit, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I've got a few things to show you here. These are literally just moisturisers, but I am going to do a skincare video at some point when I feel like I've got it down. I feel like I'm nearly there, but I'm not completely sold yet. This is the moisturiser that I've been using for the past month or so, and normally whenever I use a new product, my skin just freaks the fuck out and I get so many breakouts. I haven't had one spot from this, touch wood. My skin has been the best it's ever been the past month or so. Weleda Skin Food. So this says for very dry skin. It's rich intensive skincare for face or body, so you can use this anywhere. So I've been using it on my hands quite a bit as well. I put this on about an hour ago just to give it time to kind of sink into my skin. You can see my skin just looks really nice and hydrated and glowy. And this is another moisturiser that I've been using for a couple of months. Absolutely love this. I was looking for a moisturiser with SPF in it, because it really bothers me that most moisturisers just don't have SPF in them unless you go into the anti-aging sort of side. I don't want to do that. Paula's Choice Essential Glow Moisturiser. This is the Defense one. So this has got SPF 30 in it. This honestly makes your skin so glowy. The only thing I will say is it does give a little bit of a white cast if you use too much, but that's obviously just the SPF in it. So yeah, bear that in mind. Don't use loads and loads. You can kind of layer it up, but if you put loads on at once, you get kind of a grey white cast. This gives a really nice glow to your skin as well, so definitely love that. If you're someone who doesn't want to wear makeup and you just want to wear a moisturiser that's going to give you a glow, this is amazing. And for night time, probably 2 to 3 times a week, I use this. This is the Origins Drink Up Intensive. Origins is a brand that I just love so much. My mum's always used Origins stuff, so it was kind of the first skincare that I ever used, and I just absolutely love everything they do. So this you literally put on after you've washed your face, last thing you do before you go to bed, and just leave it on all night, and it just sinks into your skin, and oh my god, it smells amazing. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, they are the 3 moisturisers that I absolutely just rely on. And yeah, they're all really good for glowy skin. The next bit is obviously priming your skin. I'm not a big primer person, to be honest with you, just because I don't think anyone's ever really tested if it keeps your makeup on, and I don't know if there's any way you really could ever test that. I only really use primers for changing the way your skin looks, so I only ever really use glowy ones just to give that nice base. This is a new one that I've been using recently. This is what I'm going to use today. So this is the Lottie London Illuminating Coconut Primer. Obviously I spoke about Lottie London quite a bit recently. They're a new brand that I'm really loving. Everything they do is just seems to be really good and really well thought out. Obviously this is an illuminating primer, so it's going to give you a really nice glow. So I'm just going to put that on all over my skin. I've actually been wearing this quite a lot on its own recently, just kind of while haven't been wearing makeup. Just gives your skin a little bit of something. What is that? It's only got a really light coconut smell, so it's not overly scented, which is good. The other ones obviously that I love are Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. That isn't as shimmery, but that does give a really nice glow as well. And then this one here, this is the Becca Skin Perfector. This is actually a liquid highlight, but I don't love it over makeup personally, so I have used it underneath makeup before, which gives a really nice glow. So I learned how to make a Biscoff coffee, and it's the greatest thing in the whole world. Moving on to actual base makeup, I have got 3 foundations here, which are all my absolute favourites, tried and tested. Very itchy today. This one spoken about quite a bit. This is the Lottie London Velvet Skin Tint. I've got the colour medium NO25. This is so lovely. I used this in my 70s makeup tutorial. A few videos back I used this. Absolutely love that. So I'm not going to use it today just because I have used it recently. I'm going to use something different just to be diverse and shit. Next one, this is obviously a bit of a fuller coverage, well, more like medium coverage. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. I have the colour Stromboli. This is so beautiful. This is the foundation that I use like if I'm going out and I need it to kind of stay on, but it's still so glowy and beautiful. It's like, this is one of my favourite fuller coverage foundations now. But for today, because we're going like no makeup, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So Charlotte Tilbury isn't actually a brand that I've used a lot of. I don't know why that is really, because whenever I go in Selfridges and I see like her makeup counter, I'm just like, oh my god. Like, actually makes me drool. Her packaging is just like the most beautiful thing, and I want everything, but I don't know, never really. What an interesting story. Honestly, I love it so much. So I've got the colour 4 medium. It's one of those things, I still haven't really figured out what it is. It's kind of a foundation, but some people put it over the top of their makeup, so it's kind of almost like a highlighty sort of thing, but I just use it as foundation. I've seen other people do that, so I'm allowed. Love the packaging. Obviously this beautiful gold lid, and then you have this huge like doe foot on the end of it. Absolutely love that. I literally just put a few kind of swipes of it over my skin. And then I'm just going to use a Zoeva 102 Silk Finish brush and buff that in. See, from literally just blending that in, that is like the tiniest amount, and it just gives you like the most beautiful glow. I used to use like so much foundation. I used to put it like absolutely everywhere, like cover my whole face. And then when I worked at Bobbi Brown, obviously they're like super natural makeup. They kind of want you to just put foundation where you need it. And honestly, once you start doing that, you're like, you can put foundation in like places on your face, but if you don't cover your whole face, it never looks like you have makeup on. It's a good trick. With the finish of this, I'm going to try and zoom in a bit more just so you can see it. But it's kind of like matte but glowy. It's so weird, and if you've used it, I hope you like understand what I mean. But it's kind of like, it looks like set, but it looks really glowy, so it doesn't feel like it's going to kind of smudge around all the time, which is obviously good. Just going to conceal under my eyes. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer. I've used this for like years. Love this so much. This is the colour 210. And I'm just going to put that under my eyes and in the middle because I picked a really big spot. I take my foundation brush again and just buff that in. I also feel like obviously the tools that you use will kind of change the way that your makeup applies a little bit. I find with brushes like this, they only really kind of put on the amount of product that your skin will take. Doing like a heavier highlight under the eye, I always use a sponge because it just packs it on. If you want to go like a little bit lighter, a brush like this is really good. Like still dense enough to get the product on, but it just doesn't cake it. So then just to contour my face, I just use the Sosu contour stick. This is the colour Warm. This is like my go-to. It doesn't even roll up anymore. I literally use like a flat brush. Just stamp it on kind of underneath my cheekbones. I like to go for a more kind of blown out bronzy look rather than like a kind of heavy contour. But that's just personally me. This is obviously a little bit of a warmer shade. If you do want a cooler tone, the Benefit Hoola stick is actually really cool toned. I think it's a lot cooler than the actual Hoola powder, in my opinion. So yeah, when I'm like properly contouring, I use that. But yeah, I like to keep everything really like bronzy and glowy, so this is perfect for that. And I like to kind of start from sort of up here and then kind of bring it down because it will just naturally kind of bring your cheekbones up. I also find if you have kind of like more rounded eyes like me, this sort of lifts this bit of your face up as well. I feel like bronzing is really like trial and error with your face shape. I feel like you do it for years, really, really weird, and then you do it one day and you're like, ah shit, that makes sense. Just to kind of set the bronzer in place and give a little bit more of a glow. So this is the Milani 05 Baked Bronzer. This is so beautiful. It's obviously got like the gold flecks in it. I'm literally just going to dust that kind of over the top. I do tend to like pat my makeup on rather than like swipe it, just because obviously you don't want to move anything underneath, and where I don't like set my foundations or anything, just don't want anything to go AWOL. I don't really contour my nose either. I like to just kind of dust this over the end of it. I know some people hate this, but you fucking asked, so here we go. Cool, so you can see that just like kind of adds a little bit more of a glow and a little bit more colour. So now going on to blush, got a few new favourites actually. So obviously when you are doing like a really glowy makeup look, cream products are always going to look a little bit nicer than powder, that's the word. I do feel like everybody has a bit of a fear of cream products, and I definitely was the same, because you know when you've done all your makeup, you try one new thing and you like that and it just takes everything off. So yeah, they do freak. I haven't got any rings on. Ooh, weird. But yeah, these are honestly so amazing. So the Iconic London sheer blushes, and this is the colour Cheeky Coral. Cheeky. It's a really beautiful coral cheeky colour. They're kind of a bit more of like a gel consistency, so they're not too sticky, so they're not going to take your makeup off. Just pat it on like that. I like to take my blush kind of all the way up here. I don't really like to kind of sit it right on my apples and my cheeks. Naomi Campbell actually takes her blush all the way up here, so pretty much look like her now. It's so light and easy to build up that if you want a little bit more colour you can, but that is honestly like the tiniest bit. You obviously can leave it like that if you just want a really light flush, but I'm just going to show you how you can like use a powder as well. I know a lot of people won't have the cream products. So this is the Morphe blush palette. This is my favourite thing ever. So you've got 8 blushes. All along the top are shimmery ones, and then you've got matte ones down here. So if you were a makeup artist, this would be perfect having your kit, because you've obviously got such a nice range of colours. So the colour I'm going to use is this one down here. This is called Beat. Really similar to NARS Orgasm, that sort of peachy gold undertone. Literally just going to take an angled brush. This is a Morphe one, and I'm just going to pop it over the top of that. And obviously using products that have a bit of a shimmer in them, you're essentially highlighting as you go, rather than putting loads of matte products on and then doing like one line of highlighter at the end. I think it's a little bit nicer to use products that have highlight in them, so you can see already like your skin just has that sort of natural glow to it. So there we go, just like a really nice glowy natural skin. This bit is obviously optional, but this is what I do every day. So just gonna take my little freck and pop some little freckles on. Yeah, obviously putting little freckles and like beauty marks on your skin always makes it look like you've got no makeup on. It's my favourite thing, wearing like a full coverage foundation and then put freckles on. So natural. But yeah, I just like how this looks. It obviously gives you like a really nice sun-kissed look as well. So obviously if you just kind of concentrate them on the like sides of the nose, that's where you naturally would get freckles first. And I just kind of go over the freckles that I actually already have to make them into more kind of like beauty marks. Okay, so then last bit I'm going to do for the skin is I like to add a little bit of a kind of liquid highlight. I also love like powder highlights, but I tend to use them more when I want to go for like a more blinding highlight. But when I just want to do like a more subtle one, I find like a liquid works a little bit nicer. This is the Iconic Illuminating Drops. This is the original colour, so it's a more like champagne bronzy. And then a slightly cheaper alternative is the MUA Light Luster. If you actually look at them, the colours are really similar. I think this one is like £3. Honestly, I slightly prefer this one. It just gives a little bit more of like a light sheen. If you ever use this one, it is really glowy, so obviously it's amazing for that. And I love this to use it on your body or your legs when you're like going out. It looks so nice. But yeah, I feel like this one is just a little bit lighter, and obviously the price point is a lot lower. Similar to the Iconic one, you just get it with like a little pipette. And yeah, I'm just going to take a couple of drops of this. Again, just pat it on with my finger, and then I think this gives you that really nice like holiday glow. You know, like when you've been in the sun all day and then you go and do your makeup and your skin's just like glowing through your makeup. I think best your skin will ever look. And this just gives you that kind of vibe. So yeah, you can see that just gives like such a nice glow. And that doesn't move around either. I've never had any problems with that kind of like slipping. Is pretty much it for the skin. That's kind of all I actually do to create that base. So it's nothing crazy. There's not like hundreds of products. It's just like a few simple steps. Do like a really quick, boring eye, I think, because no one really gives a shit about that, do they? I'm going to run a little bit of the Anastasia brow mascara in dark brown through my eyebrows. I have my eyebrows to like just do what they want during a lockdown. I haven't touched them once, and they are they're interesting. For eyes, I'm going to do like a olivey, shimmery kind of thing, because that's my favourite look with like bronzy skin. Any kind of olive colour. I'm going to use my most loved palette ever. This is the Violet Voss Nicol Concilio palette. Yeah, she's loved. I'm going to use this greeny colour here, which I can't actually tell you what it's called because I just have no idea. I'm literally just going to use my finger because I'm that bitch now. Lovely. That'll do it. Good enough to sit in the house all day. Honestly, every day that I curl my eyelashes, I just feel grateful that I don't work in makeup anymore. I don't have to try and curl other people's eyelashes. I don't think there is any feeling more painful than trying to curl another person's eyelashes. They literally see this coming towards them and they're like, it's like fucking hell. Blessed. So for mascara, I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is a jazzy, fruity one that I got sent. I don't know why it's fruity, but it is. I'm just going to put some lashes on the outer corner of my eye just to kind of lift them up a little bit. These are just some offcuts from like, I think they're the Chloe Elizabeth Doll Beauty ones, just like cut the ends off. Another little trick while we're here, you know, just doing tips and tricks now. You have like rounder eyes like me and you feel like your eyes are always just like droopy. Just putting like lashes on the outer corner obviously makes your eyes look really foxy and long. Okay, just got my lips to do now and then we're nearly done. So for lip liner today, I'm going to use the Dose of Colours lip liner in Undressed. I find these lids like really hard. Honestly, the worst thing about getting your teeth done is that you can't use them to like open things anymore. What? Fuck. Done it. Right. Really like these lip liners once you're in, because they obviously like wind up and I can't ever be asked to sharpen things. So for lipstick, I'm just going to go for like a really simple matte nude. So this is the Revolution matte lipstick in the shade Darling. These are honestly like the most underrated thing. They are nicer than the MAC matte lipsticks. They don't dry at all. The colour is honestly the same as like Velvet Teddy, Yash, all the colours that I love, but like quarter of the price. So I think that is probably one of my favourite nude lipsticks. It just suits like any eye colour that you do, anything, it always looks good. Skin, another thing that like 100% I always have to do to my skin is set it. So I don't actually set my makeup to kind of like keep it in place. That's not really why I ever do it. I do it to kind of like make it moist. Again, not so much with this makeup, but when I do more of like a heavy full coverage foundation, concealer, all that, I do feel like it can make your skin look a little bit dry by the end of it. So yeah, it's always good to kind of like just set it in place. I also always have setting spray on me and I use it like throughout the day. It just like refreshes your makeup really nicely. My absolute favourites is the iconic London Prep Set Glow. This is the more bronzy one. They do a more like pinky peachy one, which is also really nice. So you just want to give it a shake. So pretty. Literally just spray that all over your face. Say with these though, if you're wearing white, maybe cover up what you're wearing or set your face before you get dressed. My blinds over there behind where I do my makeup, I cleaned them the other day and got little glittery brown dots all over them. So yeah, I do get a little bit of colour out of that, so just bear that in mind. And there we go. Just going to show you super close. So that is the finished look for today's video. Thank you for watching this and thank you for being here. I will link all of the products I use down below and all the products I spoke about. So I hope everybody stays safe indoors. Please take care of yourself and stay positive. And I'll be back very soon. Love you.